talking about how to build a meditation practice at home. And I would really love to make this a bit more interactive. So if you have any questions or comments along the way, please leave them in the chat and I will do my best to answer them as soon as my segment is over. All right, so let's start. I'll just introduce myself once again really quick, although Hannah already introduced me earlier. So I'm a yoga and meditation teacher. I initially trained in 2016, so I've been teaching for about 4 years already. Although I only started doing it full time about early in 2018. So before that, I did have full-time jobs. I was doing other things. So it was only about 2 years ago where I really started pursuing this as really my main source of income, as really my everyday lifestyle. So I trained with Yoga Works in 2016. And then I pursued more certifications. I teach yin yoga, kids yoga, and prenatal yoga. After that, I also trained with Planoforma. So it's one of the premium bar studios in Manila. So I'm also a bar instructor there. I'm also a certified personal trainer with the American Council on Exercise. And I am also the co-founder of Move and Flow PH. So you might have heard of that already. And in case you haven't yet, Move and Flow is an online community that a couple of friends and I founded over the pandemic. So pre-pandemic, my life was very studio-based. I was hopping from studio to studio. My schedule was really jam-packed. I was teaching about 12 to 16 classes a week. It was really crazy. And so when COVID-19, hit the world, much like all of you at home, my income, my livelihood was also affected. So, and I also started seeing a lot of unhealthy practices being disseminated online. I started seeing a lot of people pushing themselves in their workouts much harder than it was in a very healthy way. So my friends and I decided to create this online space that was really focused on bringing mindfulness and fun back into one's movement experience. Because after all, we move because it's fun, we move because it's good for us. Movement is not a punishment at all. So that was something we wanted to bring back in Move and Flow. All right. So today I'm going to be talking a bit about what health really is, and as well as how to actually make your health practices a little bit more holistic. So I just want to ask you right now, and you don't have to tell me straight on, but something that I want you guys to think about right now is, what is health to me? How have I been practicing my healthy lifestyle, so to speak, at home? And what do I actually believe health is? Because we always hear buzzwords like health, mindfulness, holistic lifestyle, all of those buzzwords around. We throw them around, but do we actually know what it really means? And do we actually know what they really mean to us? So ultimately, okay, in my experience, being in the health industry for about nearly 5 years already, is that health is ultimately a practice. It isn't how toned your muscles look or how defined your abs are. In fact, studies show, and I'm sure that a lot of you will be happy to hear this as well, studies show that flexibles are working hard at home trying to get those six-pack abs for the past 6 months, and they're not happening. It's probably because you're leaning more towards a genetic factor in that sense. Health is most likely not hard you push in a workout. Sometimes when we other option, sometimes we're not feeling it, and it's perfectly okay to modify during your workouts. It's perfectly okay to take a step back, take a rest, take a child's pose. All right. And most of all, it also isn't how much you diet. So we often think that achieving health is how much weight we've lost in the pandemic. It's how good we look, especially now that a lot of workouts are being posted online and etc. So ultimately, health is the practice of listening to and tuning into your mind, body, and spirit. So when it comes to pursuing a life of health, it isn't just about the body. It's also your mental well-being. It's also your spiritual well-being, and how all of these eventually flow into your physical well-being as well. So it's a lot of things. Now you're probably thinking, but how am I able to do all of that, to take care of all of that? I don't have enough hours in the day. Well, I'm gonna explain it in just a bit. So one of the ways that I stay sane in the pandemic is through meditation. All right. So, and I'm not just talking about a seated practice, but I'm talking about all kinds of meditation. So many of us think that meditation is simply sitting down and closing your eyes and clearing your mind for 30 minutes. And admittedly, before I got into yoga, before I got into wellness and fitness, I too thought that meditation was like that. And it really intimidated me. And it was the very reason why I veered away from meditation. I was thinking, I don't want to sit down for 30 minutes and be lost in my thoughts. I don't want to confront my feelings. All right. So for today's talk, I want to define meditation really as any activity that helps you move towards a state of awareness. So whether that may be sitting down for a few minutes and focusing on the breath, or whether that may be maybe taking a few minutes of your time to draw or to paint. Maybe that would mean going for a bike ride. Maybe that would mean going for a walk, playing with your pets. Anything really that moves you into a state of connecting with the present moment is meditation. So why is the present moment exactly so important? And I'm sure that you guys have really experienced this throughout the pandemic. This is something that I experienced in the pandemic as well. Our minds are always in the past or in the future. So I can't see you guys right now, but I'm sure you guys are nodding and thinking, oh my God, that's really how I have been throughout the whole pandemic. We're either obsessing over things that happened before, past relationships, past failures, our regrets, our grievances, or we're obsessing over the future. So thinking, oh my God, when this is over, what am I going to do? How is the world going to be like after this is over, right? So we're usually either in the past, or in the future. But we never realize that we aren't connecting with the right here, right now, where everything is all right, where everything is actually quite peaceful. So anything that helps you access the right here, the right now, that is meditation. All right, so I'm going to be talking about the benefits of meditation and what exactly, or rather, what exactly it does to your body so the first benefit is improved brain health. So these here, guys, are all scientifically based, and studies actually show that when you take time to perform and to engage in meditation, areas in the brain associated with stress, fear, depression, anxiety are all calmed down and all come into a state of relaxation. All right. So when that happens, of course, there is decreased stress and anxiety. We're able to perform better in our daily tasks, and we're also able to feel better. So a lot of inflammation in our body is caused by stress and is caused by built up tension. And when we experience stress and anxiety, a lot of the inflammation caused by it can lead to physical illness. It can lead to a lowered immune system, imbalanced hormones. So when we decrease the stress levels and anxiety, we're able to actually boost our immune system. We're able to invite more oxygenation and circulation into the body, and we're able to perform better. So for those of you here who are very much into working out or are thinking of working out, meditating every day helps you with improved physical performance. So your workouts become better. You feel better when working out, and your overall life just improves. So take note of these, guys. All right. So next is building a meditation practice at home. So now you're thinking, okay, I know the benefits of meditation, but I don't seem to have the time in the day to actually meditate. So again, I'd like to emphasize that meditation isn't necessarily sitting down, although the seated practice is wonderful and great. But it's a lot of things that help you, again, access that present moment. So take note of these. My first tip is to find the time in the day where you feel most energized. So a lot of us think that to be healthy, you have to wake up at 6 a.m. to go for a run. Well, in truth, I cannot even wake up at that time also. So we're all different. We all have different bodies. We all have different needs. So find the time in your day where you feel most energized. For some of us, that's in the morning. For some of us, that's in the evening. So find or notice your patterns in the day and say, okay, maybe I function best in the night, in the evening, after work, after dinner. Next, allocate 5 to 10 minutes to that activity alone. So whether it is drawing, whether it is painting, going for a walk, doing anything, again, that helps you relax, just do 5 to 10 minutes of that every day. All right? Or maybe every other day, if that's how you get started. Next, again, meditation is a practice of observation, of noticing how you are. So observe how this activity makes you feel and observe yourself as well. So notice how you are at the beginning of your activity and after the activity. And throughout the activity, notice the physical changes in your body. Notice the emotional changes in your body. Notice how you're feeling overall. And then finally, learn to be okay with imperfection. So most of us think, okay, I've tried to meditate, but I'm still anxious, I'm still depressed, I'm still having a really hard time focusing. So again, that's what I go back to. Health is a practice. It isn't something you perfect right away. It isn't something that you get or achieve right away, but it's a build up of everyday habits that you try to develop. And sometimes you won't be feeling good. Sometimes you won't want to meditate at all. Just like some days we don't want to work out at all. So learn to be okay with that. And when you're ready to jump back into it, to move, to meditate, then come back to it. All right. Then next, all right. So I think I just have 5 minutes left. So I'm just going to lead you through a really quick breathing exercise, a brief grounding exercise. And it's just going to take about 3 to 5 minutes. So wherever you are right now in your home, I just want you to now sit down, weight of your body against your seat, against the floor, against your bed, wherever you are. All right. Start to sit up tall and lengthen your spine. Roll the shoulders back away from the ears, and start to notice how the body feels right now. So you can close the eyes if you haven't done so yet, and scan the body from the top of the forehead all the way down to the tips of the toes. Not lingering anywhere in particular, but actually moving through each area. And if there are any pockets of tension, try to soften and relax those areas. So if your shoulders are hiking up, maybe soften the shoulders. If you feel like you're squeezing your glutes, which is actually what I do when I sit down, try to soften the glutes as well, soften the bum. And if your eyes are already closed, start to tune in with your breath. So noticing where the breath is right now, maybe you're through your chest. And I invite you to maybe take one hand to your belly, maybe both, or maybe one hand to your belly and one hand to your chest. And as you notice the inflation and deflation of your belly and your chest, as you notice the soft cadence of your inhalations and your exhalations, try to slow down your breath. Try to let breath expansive. And then already notice now how much more expansive you feel. And then shift your attention briefly to your mind, noticing where your thoughts are, noticing what you're thinking of, noticing where the mind has wandered off to. Continue to watch the thoughts without judgment. And every time it strays away, your thoughts stray away, come back to the breath as well. Let's take 3 more deep breaths here. 2 more. 1 last. And then slowly release your hands back to your lap and blink your eyes open. All right, so take a few breaths here, ground yourself once again. So that actually was already a form of meditation. And we just took 2 minutes just to do that. So if at any point in your day where you catch yourself feeling stressed or overwhelmed, sit down, take a few breaths, observe your thoughts without judgment, and then once you're ready to come back into your day, whatever it was you were doing, come back into it. So that's what I taught you is something you can do in the middle of your work day, in the middle of your busy day. But again, if there are other things that you'd like to do, so Ria talked about self-care. If there's anything else you like to do that helps you access that present moment, and by all means, integrate that in your daily life as well. And thank you. So that's it. You can follow us. You can follow me. My personal is at Cathy Dario on Instagram, but you can also follow us on Instagram at Move and Flow PH. If you want to take a class with us, if you're curious about meditation, feel free to message me there. So again, if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. And yes, I guess I'll turn you back to Hannah.